This is my car. It is a 2012 Audi A7, and you may be asking, how did you get such a nice first car? Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't easy because obviously there aren't many of these for cheap. And yeah, I basically had to search around cars.com, Auto Tempest, all those, Auto Trader, and yeah, we made it happen though. We have the A7. I was originally going to get a Golf, but then I decided against it because Audi A7 is better, much better, and it is so cool. And I only paid like 30 grand of my own money that I didn't borrow from anyone else. And yeah, today I'm going to take you through all the interesting stuff about it, all the cool facts, annoyances, and all the features of the car. So yeah, let's go ahead and just begin with just a shot of the car, probably without me in it unless I'm still in frame. Now this is obviously gray, not an auto gray unfortunately, but it's good, it's nice, and yeah, so that's that. Now we'll get on to the features. So we're gonna start here with the lights. We got the headlights, obviously LED running lights for the daytime and everything. That's not unusual. But the unusual thing comes when you look at this box here. Now, if you're smart, you might know that that's a light washer. But for some reason, in my car, it doesn't work. Like I will show you now. So, if you're curious on how to do this for Audis, basically what you do is you're gonna flip these lights, and there is a knob over here. Okay, so as I was saying, the knob needs to be in this position where the lights, where it looks like there's a big light shining downwards, and then you would usually hold the wiper fluid thing. And cameraman, I would get back because we'll get to the part about that next. And you should be able to just hold it and the lights will wash, but it doesn't work for my car. And that gets me into my next feature, is the windshield wiper fluid jets are so powerful, it will shoot washer fluid over the entire car. Now, if we come back here, we will see that's been wet, don't mind that, but you can maybe see a little bit of it, but there is washer fluid all over the back of the car, and I just think that's hilarious. And so that's the windshield wiper fluid. And now we're gonna move on to my favorite feature of the whole car, which is this right here. Now if you haven't seen this car already, you're gonna be asking, why is there just a panel gap there? I will show you. That's because my car has a wing, and it's not the most impressive wing obviously, but it's still cool enough for me. So I love my wing, and I just can't understand how it works, because if you look in here, it just looks like all metal. Like all these supports just look all metal. I guess there's some gears in there or something, but we'll never find out, will we? Unless I get a comment. Now, next feature is these tail lights. Obviously, you got the LED strip in there for just the normal lights, and the turn signals are LED, as I will show you. Yes, so they're LED. However, if we move back to the front, you will see that the front turn signals are not. They are halogens, which is kind of an annoyance because I really want LED turn signals all around, but you know, whatever. The next interesting part is with the Audi rings. They're normal. However, if you want to hook a garage door opener up to your car, you have to hold this in front of the Audi logos while in there. So it's really a two-person job to get a garage door to pair with this thing. So if you have this car and you're just alone, then you but I have to call a friend or something, because there's no way you can hold this in front of the Audi rings while also working the garage door opening settings from in there. But Audi has thought of this, because what you can do is come into the infotainment system here, go to, my hazards are still on, you go to car systems, vehicle settings, garage door opener, program, and I'll just do button 3, and now it is automatically pairing. The car is automatically trying to pair, and there is a light that will go off somewhere if it is paired, but we can see if it will pair. Now it's said to hold it for, I think it was like 3 seconds or something, so that should be good, and we can go see now. It is. Yes, it has worked, because it says press 3 button twice. Is the garage door moving? No, because there's no garage door around here. But you understand the point now. Okay, next feature is kind of an annoyance. It has to do with the wheels of the car. Pretty normal wheels. However, if you look closely, you'll notice they're really dirty. It's actually more evident on this rim over here, which is really dirty. It's really dirty, and that's not dirt either. That's like brake dust. So like if you run your finger across, it gets clean, but like it just doesn't come off. And now I have a bunch of black stuff on my finger, and it's just a big annoyance overall. That's one of my least favorite features of the car. Next we'll move on to the engine, which is the A7, not the S7 or RS7. So I have the Supercharged V6, and the supercharger is under here. You can see the belts turning if you look low enough. But it's 310 horsepower and I think like 298 torque or something like that, in foot-pounds anyway. But it's a very, very powerful engine for what it's worth, and it gets this car moving pretty nicely. Another thing I like about the engine is how this cover is it doesn't feel like plastic here. It might be metal here, but here it's a little bit plastic. I like how they didn't use much plastic, so you can see a lot. And yeah, that has to do with the engine. So also, the way the hood opens is really nice, because usually when the hood is closed, and I'm not going to close it all the way, you have to reach around for some small little hook that's usually not in the center of the car. But with the Audi, there's a huge switch right here that you just pull up on. You can see it right here. It's very massive, and it unhooks the engine bay. It unhooks the hood with ease. And one of the problems with this whole latch system is that sometimes when you close the hood, the car will say it's open even though it's not. So you have to close it really hard. And now we're going to demonstrate what the engine sounds like. That was the exhaust note. Now, unfortunately, my car stops at 4K RPM. Otherwise, I'd go all the way to red line. But yeah, that's a good idea of what the engine does sound like. So, another cool thing is when you're turning off the car, it's simple. There's a button on the center console, which I'll show you. And you just, it's weird because the car will still play the music you were playing, like the car was just on its mode where it's just not on, but like all the electric systems are on. But as soon as you open the door, everything folds away and you can hop out of your car. And another interesting thing is how it locks, because usually with newer cars you'll have a button right here, but in my case I don't. I have a touchscreen button, so I don't even have to have any effort in having to push a button. And also my mirrors will fold in, which is very nice. But however, to get back in the car, you don't push the button. Instead, what you do, and this has been common with a lot of Audis that have been really nice Audis, you just stick your hand in the door handle and it will instantly recognize that you are the key holder, and then you can step inside your Audi A7. Okay, so now we have the horn, which sounds a bit like this. So that that was the horn. And yeah. Okay, now it's time for some interior quirks, starting with the steering wheel. Now, I do not have the performance package, so my steering wheel is the 4-spoke steering wheel with the kind of weird square shape around the Audi logo. Now, in the performance packages, you get 3 spokes and a round wheel. I'd much rather have this, but I'm not willing to put in the money or effort to switch out the steering wheel for details little as that. Now, the steering wheel also has a heated steering wheel function, which in my car, it's a little weak. I would like it to be a little stronger, a little bit quicker to heat up, but it works very well. You have voice commands. You can also, from your steering wheel, connect to your contacts and adjust everything in this center gauge cluster. And yeah, so that's that. And now we're going to move on to the air conditioner. Now, the air conditioner is just a whole entire thing on its own. So I'm only going to get into a few features. Starting with this car obviously having quad zone climate controls, which isn't a big thing. But, so another quirk with the air conditioning is you may notice that there's no fan speed control anywhere, except maybe this. It could be, I don't know, it could be this, could be the knob, you press it, but no. The way the fan speed works is that you have your air conditioning controls here to where you can switch it up and down from temperatures, but as soon as you press this button, it instantly transforms into a fan speed. And now, I should mention this fan speed goes pretty high. It goes to 12. So I'll now demonstrate what that's like now. We will go to 12. And it is heating up. It's much louder with the AC on, probably. So this is fan speed 12. And obviously, it's not as powerful as you think. But yeah, it is definitely a weird feature because it goes up to 12. That's pretty crazy. Our next feature is the seats. Now, obviously, this is a very nice car because I got the Prestige. So it has heated and cooled seats. And it has 3 levels for each. Very interesting. But however, you can put them both on at the same time and have sort of a weird cooled, heated seat of some sort. I don't know, because I don't want to mess up my seats. But I should also mention, this car doesn't technically have vibrating or massaging seats, but if you put the cooled seat on full, it basically feels like a vibrating massage seat. So there's that. Okay, so now we're at the top, where you have all the usual controls and a blank switch, which I really don't like, but you have your controls. Obviously, you have your dome lights. They turn on gradually, they're LED, very nice. But what's weird is you can turn on just the rear dome lights and not the front ones, which is super strange. So yeah, that's a weird, very weird feature. And yeah, then you can obviously turn on all of them at once, turn them back off. And we have a sunroof in this car, a very normal sunroof. It does its own thing. But yeah, that's almost all for this. We have a sunglass holder, which is very small. I don't know who can fit their sunglasses in here. And yeah, I think that's all the features of the car. And oh wait, I forgot a huge one. This is the infotainment screen, and you have many things to do, like you can go in your car and change the mode of it, and set the individual mode for however you like your car to drive. And you have navigation, you have your music tone, telephone, all the standard stuff you find in a really nice car. But one weird thing that you don't find in many cars is the ability to put the screen away. It is a very weird feature, but it is very nice. And again, you have your wing button here, which activates the wing. You have traction control, all the standard stuff, parking sensors, which this car also has. And a weird one is CDs, which not many cars have nowadays. But I guess in 2012, the iPhone 4 was out, so I guess it was still popular to use CDs or something. And I don't know what this is, actually. I've never opened this, unless it doesn't open at all. The world may never know, though. And then, so yeah, that's all the center console feature. Okay, so The glove box is obviously very small. If I were to take the owner's manual and put it back in here, this ice scraper and this roll of tape would not fit at all. So very small. I have some trees here in the top slot, which is very nice, very convenient place to stick some scented trees if you like scented trees. Now, next thing I should mention is the CD, the 6-slot CD changer thing, which was weird because there's a CD player here and now here, which is super strange. Next feature is the valet mode, which basically allows you to limit the speed and all the stuff about the car so that no one can hot rod your Audi A7 around. Now, I should mention that other cars have valet mode too, but it is pretty weird for my car to have it because none of my other cars I've ever been in have had a valet mode. Either that or I've never known about it. So that's all the interior features and exterior features. So now we will get to the driving experience. Okay, so now for the driving experience. First thing you'll feel is the all-wheel drive system, which is very stable, and it can keep you under control at very high speeds. And Audi has done a very great job over the years with their Quattro system. And another thing you'll feel is the steering is very, very light and moves the car around really easily, and you just feel like you could throw this car around anything and come out of it pretty much alive. And yeah, you can also have the comfort of every other luxury car, like your heated, cooled seats, everything. You got quad zone climate vents, your heated steering wheel, and you can adjust the car's modes, obviously, in the car systems, but I like to keep it in auto mode so that I can enjoy my ride, and when I need it, I can kick it into sport mode, and it shifts me to dynamic. Now, speaking of sport mode, we're gonna, maybe around this next corner, we're gonna accelerate. Yeah, I gotta go down this hill because I don't want to fly. Also, I'm gonna put my wing up. There it is. And turn my traction control on because I don't want to die. All right, here we go. For sure, it's pretty quick for a first car. Not the fastest thing. It has a 0 to 60 of about 5 seconds. Timed by myself. The internet will say 6, but I timed it, so I don't know. But it is very okay. Car's still in sport mode. It's but cruising around at low speeds like this is also nice too, because you can just sit back and enjoy yourself. That's just what gets me the most, is that when you need it, this car can be very sporty and you can just fly around all the curves and stuff. But also, when you just want to slow down and have a nice easy ride, you can. Oh no.
The local idiot has arrived.
The kid with the one lower than mine arrived. Oh,
wait.
Okay, so now for interior core. Oh, guys. I'm going to turn this fan speed down and stuff. So now we're going to start. Gosh dang it, why can't we talk about...
He just cut it.